Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. So if your LG washer is sitting there full of water with an OE error code flashing on the display, don't panic. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it in under 30 minutes. Good news is most of these problems are actually pretty simple to solve, and you can save yourself $200 to $400 on a service call. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group, links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. So the most common culprit I see is that little drain pump filter getting completely clogged up. This thing's designed to catch all the junk, lint, coins, hairpins, you name it. I had this lady call me last month, and when we opened up her filter, there were 3 hair ties, a bunch of pocket change, and what looked like half a sock in there. You'll know this is your problem when the washer stops mid-cycle and won't drain at all. First, make sure your washer is completely powered off and unplugged for safety. Here's how we fix it. Open that small access panel on the lower front of your washer. You'll need a shallow pan or large bowl, 4 old towels, a flashlight or phone light, and a small brush or old toothbrush for cleaning. Fair warning. Expect about a gallon of water to come out, so protect your floor. Pull out the small drain tube, remove the plug, and let all that water drain out completely. Once it's drained, twist that filter cap counterclockwise to remove it. Clean the filter thoroughly with a brush and warm water, then use a flashlight to peek inside the housing for any leftover debris. Pop it back in, secure the cap, replace the drain tube plug, and you should be good to go. Another thing I see all the time is the drain hose getting kinked or clogged up. You'll get that same OE error, and sometimes you might hear some gurgling noises coming from back there. What happens is people push their washer too close to the wall and that hose gets pinched, or sometimes stuff just builds up inside the hose itself. Pull your washer away from the wall so you can get a good look at the entire drain hose. Look for any sharp bends or kinks. They're usually pretty obvious. If you suspect there's something stuck inside, you can disconnect the hose and flush it out with water. Here's a critical spec most people don't know. LG requires the drain hose end to be between 39 and 53 inches from the floor. That's roughly waist to shoulder height on most people. Too high and the pump can't push water up. Too low and you'll get siphoning problems that trigger the OE error. Now, here's where it gets a bit more involved. The drain pump motor itself can fail. This is actually pretty common on LG washers after they've been running for a few years. You'll know it's the pump when you hear humming sounds during the drain cycle, but no water's actually draining, or the thing's completely silent when it should be pumping. Here's a simple 30-second diagnostic test. With the filter removed, you'll see a small plastic impeller inside. Try spinning it with your finger. A good pump will feel like it's fighting you. There should be magnetic resistance and it should click into position every quarter turn. If it spins freely and smoothly like a pinwheel, your pump motor has failed and needs replacement. If that's your problem, you're looking at a pump replacement. You'll need to disconnect power and water, then remove the washer's top, control panel, and front panel to get to the pump. It's usually on the bottom left side. Disconnect the hoses and electrical connectors. Remove the 310 MMA bolts holding the pump assembly and swap in your new motor. Plan on 3 hours for this repair if it's your first time, or about 90 minutes if you're experienced with appliance repair. This is intermediate level difficulty. You'll need basic hand tools and patience for the panel removal. Sometimes that big corrugated sump hose that connects the bottom of the tub to the drain pump gets blocked up. Usually it's a small item like a sock that somehow made it past the filter. This one requires the same disassembly as replacing the drain pump. You got to get that front panel off to access it. Once you can see the sump hose, disconnect it from both the tub and pump by releasing the clamps. Check it for obstructions and give it a good cleaning before putting it back together. Here's one that'll drive you crazy. Faulty wiring to the drain pump. The wires can break or fray from all that vibration over time, usually right near the connector. You'll get an intermittent OE error that keeps coming back even after you've replaced the pump. I remember this guy who called me 3 times about the same washer. Turns out it was just a broken wire the whole time. After you've accessed the drain pump, take a close look at all the wires and connectors. Give them a gentle tug to see if anything's loose. If you find a broken wire, you'll need to crimp on a new connector, usually just a simple fasten connector that costs a couple bucks. The OE code means your washer can't drain water out, and if you don't fix it, that water is just sitting there getting stagnant. Here's the good news. I'm going to walk you through the most common causes, starting with the simplest 15-minute fixes and working up to more involved repairs. In my experience, about 70% of these issues are simple clogs you can clear yourself. The good news is the drain pump filter itself is basically free to fix. You just got to clean it out. This is routine maintenance that everyone should be doing monthly. Now, sometimes these filters can get stuck if there's coins wedged in there, but a little patience and maybe some needle nose pliers will get it out. Definitely worth doing yourself. Takes about 10 minutes. For drain hoses, you're looking at anywhere from $0 if it's just kinked, up to about $50 if you need a replacement. LG uses these hard plastic hoses that are less likely to kink than the old rubber ones, but they can still get clogged internally. You can usually find replacement hoses at appliance parts stores or online. This is definitely a DIY repair. Just make sure you install it at the right height. Now, the drain pump motor, that's where you're going to spend some money. Parts typically run anywhere from 25 to about 125, depending on your exact model and where you shop. You can find them at places like Parts Doctor or Affordable Appliance Parts. Here's the thing though, this is a very common failure point on LG washers. So if your pump's going bad, I'd recommend just replacing it rather than trying to repair it. The labor is going to take you about 2 hours if you're handy with tools. The sump hose is usually repairable for free. You just got to clean out whatever's blocking it. This requires pretty much the same disassembly as replacing the drain pump, so it's a harder repair, but the part itself doesn't typically need replacing. Wiring repairs are cheap parts wise. You're talking less than $5 for some new connectors, but this one can be tricky to diagnose because it's often intermittent. If you're comfortable with basic electrical work and you've got a multimeter, this is definitely worth fixing yourself. Just make sure you test for continuity before and after the repair. Now you can see right there on your screen the most common LG models that run into these OE error issues. Don't worry about memorizing all those numbers. Just take a look and see if your model's listed. The troubleshooting steps I showed you work pretty much the same across all LG front loaders since they're built very similarly. And that's how you tackle the LG OE error code. Here's your action plan. Start with the drain pump filter. It takes 10 minutes and fixes 70% of OE errors. Still getting the error? Check your drain hose for kinks. If those don't work, then consider the pump motor replacement. Pro tip: clean that filter monthly to prevent most drainage issues before they start. Do it on the first Saturday of every month. Set a phone reminder right now. Trust me, this simple 5-minute task will save you hundreds in future repairs. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your LG washer draining again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.